The false compromise, or argumentum ad temperantium, is believing that when there's a disagreement, the answer must be somewhere in the middle. And normally this means right in the middle, but it can be anywhere and still be called a false compromise. This goes by a few different names: argument from middle ground, argument to moderation, the gray fallacy, and the golden mean fallacy are all common names for a false compromise. The place this is most commonly used, at least in my opinion, is when people are bargaining for something like a car or house. Two different parties say what they think it's worth, and then one of the parties will normally try to say, meet me halfway, we'll say the car is worth this amount that's right in the middle. And that's kind of what our first example does. It gets a little bit ridiculous. Thrasymachus asks Adeimantus, how much do you think I could get for these 12 loaves of bread? Adeimantus says, I would say 2 drachma. Thrasymachus says, well, I was thinking 10 drachma, so the real answer must be 6 drachma. What Thrasymachus did was add 10 plus 2 and got 12, divided that by 2, and realized that 6 was in the middle, so that must be the right price for it. Adeimantus refutes this point by saying that he's going to exchange loaves of bread for loaves of bread. He says, by that logic, I could say 12 loaves of bread is worth 20 loaves of bread, and you could say 12 loaves of bread is worth 28 loaves. Then, 12 loaves of bread would be worth 24 loaves of bread. That would mean 1 loaf of bread is worth 2 loaves of bread, which that doesn't make any sense at all. So the false compromise here cannot be true. Next example is a distance example. Thrasymachus says, how far do you think it is to the city? Adeimantus says, about 2 million. Thrasymachus claims, I was thinking about 4 million, so it must be about 3 million to the city. Adeimantus then refutes his logic by saying that if I estimate 10 million, we would be physically further. But it's clear that the estimation doesn't really change where they're physically at. The estimation is based off where they're physically at. In the third example, Thrasymachus is sick, so he says, I will take half the medicine from a traditional doctor tells me to, and I will do half of what a holistic healer tells me to. That way, Thrasymachus thinks that he will get the best treatment possible, because he's taking half of each. Adeimantus claims, you should not do that. The compromise between two things is not always right. Here, Adeimantus isn't really backing up his claim, he's not showing why it's wrong, but he's done that in the previous 2 examples, and in those 2 examples, he has shown that the compromise between 2 things isn't always right.